Got him. Hey. Dad? Gotta make sure. Hey, Queldar. Queldar. So I can need to get my dad. Alright, Dad. Sit. Over here. Dad? Sit right here. Right there. Lock the front door from the inside, of course I can. Whew. All right. It's one of those mornings. Let's do it. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right. So, Queldar, we have the painting here, my friend. What do you want me to work on? What do you think? Drapery, face, beard, woman? You decide. It's going to be all the same. So he doesn't escape. No, I can't do that. Drawing's looking good. Thanks. The woman. Madonna. Okay. Want me to work on the face, or do you want me to work on the drapery? What do you think? Face I kind of have to make up. But I think I can do it, because I know how I want it to look. I want you to make her look like a woman. I think she looks like a woman. I think she looks like a woman. Start, do you want, so you want me to work on the face? Let me get the face going here. Is that what I'm hearing? Not a woman called Lou. That's one of those things that you always draw yourself. You want me to work on the face? I will do that. I'm going to lift this up and then I'll zoom this in. Reposition here. I want to have it like here, about eye level, right there. So I'm going to lift it up that high. Grab it on the sides, because there's paint there. I always get paint on myself. Up, up, up. Look how strong I am. Oh, my back! Just kidding. Right. See. Not a woman called Ruth. That's good, probably. Yeah, it's okay. Scooch it over. Scooch it. Gotta scooch it over. About yay. Old man. Look at you. Let's see if we can. I'll see if he's in the stream here. No, he's not. If he sat. Tell you what, I'm gonna get him in so y'all can see him. Dad. I'm going to share it. Good? How's that? See if he's in the shot now. Yeah. Is Clara here? I know Carmine and Danny and Lemo. I haven't seen them in a long time. Claudard. You know, oh, hey Claire, that was a really good stream. And by the way, if you want to hop in Discord, I'd love to have you on. But honestly, you know, I mean, it's, y'all know this, it's hard to catch streams all the time, especially in the middle of the day. But I know Carmina is over in Italia. There's fine, Lotus will never call me Eddie anyway. No, I want your Quildarius. I might call you Queddy. Huh? Were you yapping on about? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go. That's what we're working on. There's really no point in me showing you the face, but I'm gonna, because it's not the same face. So I have so many images on this that it's kind of hard to select. Okay, so that. Yeah, do that. That's fine. It's okay. Got all these cords. One of these days, I'm just gonna trip and bust my ass here. Okay. First things first. Solid palette. Okay. Now let's make some color. Some color. Stark.
Hey, Louis.
Hey, Quildar, what's up, man?
Hey, Clara's in the general
Oh,
thing.
you
Yep.
can pull her down. You
I
actually can
can.
pull. Yeah, you can.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Give you the power.
Hi, Clara.
Can you
What?
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your stream was fun last night on Instagram.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That was my first time doing a stream by myself. So we're talking to yourself. I'm not used to that. I'm used to whenever I streamed before, we would do it with our art group.
Yeah.
And we would just talk amongst each other, and that's a lot easier.
Yeah. I hear you. That makes sense. I mean, I feel the same way, especially like when you first start and you're not sure if anybody's going to be on. You're like, should I just be like narrating things? And, you know, and then when the first person comes in, when you talk, you know that they know that they're the only ones in there and that they're talking to you. And sometimes it makes, or you're talking to them and it makes them uncomfortable. You know,
it's
you're
too
like,
much pressure.
yeah, you're putting on a show just for like that one person. It's really funny.
Yeah, and I found like every time someone new would come in and I get enough new people, I'd have to restate what I was doing.
I know.
And
And
so
you were
I'm
getting
sure,
tired
like,
of
the
it.
first person, yeah, well, I didn't mind it too much, but the first person was like, I've heard this before. I know what you're doing.
Who was the first person? Just some random.
Actually, Laura was in there.
Laura?
Real early. Yeah, she was.
She giving you a hard time? I need to get another color here. I'm talking to
Oh,
people
she's
on
really
headphones.
supportive.
Oh, good. Good.
Nobody gives me a hard time. Not yet. I'm
Not
too
yet.
new.
You just give it like a couple days.
Hmm.
And then you'll get a Queldar in your channel. And then it goes downhill. Fast. Fast. So I'm getting some cobalt. What, old man? Huh? Nobody's back there. That's the fridge. You're the only one sitting there, old man. Sitting there, thinking, judging, wondering what's going on. Wondering shit. My dad's here. You're my dad. Yeah. You're sitting there. See, I'm talking. There are people I'm talking on the headset with. That's who I'm talking to. He's wondering who I was talking to. All right.
So, Louis, are you keeping the orientation of her face in profile?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it there. What, Dad? You stay there. I just want you to sit, relax, enjoy yourself. We got some food for you in a little bit. Yeah. 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 You can stand there too. That's totally fine. You're right. I need a lock on the other side of the door. Ooh. Maybe there's a way to.
I haven't seen the oil painting yet. This is cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. So here's a nice mixture here. So yeah, that's soap, Dad. Yeah, it is. Now be careful with this because you're leaning. Yeah. 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 Yep. Here. You can take this one. You want that one? Here, but give me this one. I'll trade you. You take that one. Okay, let's take this soap. You got one? Good man. But keep that one there. Mixing color without. So I don't want to put white in it. This has some white. I want to keep a lot of color, but make it neutral, but not too greenish or yellow. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take some. Actually, I'm just gonna take some ultramarine blue. Let's see. I'm pretty sure y'all can see this. I know it's a little blurry, but here, get as close as I can because I know this is in the range. So mix one right here. I'm gonna take some ultramarine blue. Now I'm gonna take some. Now you take that soap, Dad. It's gonna take my soap. I'm not gonna have soap for cleaning brushes. Okay, and then we're gonna take some alizarin crimson, and then we're gonna take a substantial amount of cobalt blue, and I'm gonna take a little bit more. So this essentially will lighten it, but it has yellow in it, so we want to purple it out. And I found that cobalt blue and alizarin crimson do a very good job of making it cloudy purple. So you don't, it's as if you put white in it, but you don't get the cloudy effect with it, which is really cool. Can y'all still hear me okay?
I hear you.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if something got, like, messing with the cords. Here, Dad. Here, give me a second. Guys, 1 second. Sorry. Just have to be patient. All right, old man. Here's what I want you to do. These cords, I swear. Okay. Here. Sit right here. Sit in this chair, okay? Here. Sit right there. Leave those in, okay? Don't pull that out. Because if you pull it out, my stream goes. Yeah. Don't pull it out. He's laughing. Can y'all hear him? This is horrible. Dad, sit. Get your, I'm about to drag your ass up and put you on this chair. Ready? I'm about to get you there. Up.
No.
Yep. There we go. Good man. Set that right there. Don't mess with it. That's important, guys. If the stream goes out, just let me know, okay? Because that's him messing with the thing. Gosh. Things like this. You're a troublemaker, you know that? Okay. Let's see if we can mix one color. Oh, and also just let me know if he's taking stuff, okay? I don't know if y'all can see.
I'll keep my eye out.
Thanks. Some more cobalt. So we're trying to purple it out. That's what we're trying to do. Purple it, but keep the value. So this is like a very rich value right here. It's a nice mid-tone. So I lightened it without using white, but it does not, like, you lighten it with essentially red and yellow, but the yellow will make it greenish. So this greenish and yellowish, because it'll lighten it up. But this will kind of prevent that. It'll lighten it up and kind of push it more towards a little bit more purpley, which is good, which is what we want. So that's a very good value. Then I can go from there and make, so that's like a connecting value between these two right there. If y'all can see that. And so now, yeah, Claire, I really liked what you drew last night. That was really cool. And
the Squid Game fan art.
Huh?
The Squid Game fan art.
Oh yeah, and you have a very good personality for that, and it was fun. I had you on, and I had to film an ad for my Zoom class. I'm trying to better the landing page because it's so boring to look at. So I was like, well, I'll put a video on it and stuff where I'm just like actually a little bit more serious talking about it and stuff, just like 45 seconds or so. And so that's kind of what I was working on. So I had to actually film. So that's why, but it didn't take that long. And then right afterwards I got on, I must have just missed you because we're off. Because it didn't take me, it took me probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I ended up getting hungry.
Old man.
Yeah, I started it at like 5.
Oh,
You were
wow.
on around 7, so I had been
Yeah.
there for a bit.
I have a long time. That's good. Okay, so then we're just going to mix 2 more values here. Mix, this is going to be kind of the lighter mid-tone. Might be actually too much blue, but that's okay. That, so slide in. I'm actually going to add a little bit of oil to oil it out some because it's very thick, which I like because I can choose the consistency I want. Just add more oil or less and get what I want. So the colors don't need to be like on
Do you have all these color combos just memorized?
this
Like,
stuff.
all of your-
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep in mind, like, this is how we trained, is like mixing these flesh tones and such at school. But as far as it goes, I mean, here's what I do. For example, if, see in the stream, like you can see the colors behind, or here and stuff. So normally if I'm doing a range of values, what I'll do, I'll start with the darkest dark and go to lightest light. And depending on the values, like this one, like when I'm blocking, I might do 3, like, you know, I might do 1, 2, 3 or something like that, like values, just to start, keep them kind of mid-tone. But then once you get the full range of values, I'm thinking, okay, well, I mean, this is like, you know, black, yellow, red, and then white. It's just a combination of them. You learn this stuff. This obviously has more red, and I could get it with cadmium red, which is what I have on my palette, or I could do alizarin crimson to get it to, you know, I could make it work either way. But you start with those without white, and then those with white, and depending on the range of lights and darks within whatever area you're painting, I might make 5 values, or I might make 3 or 4, right? And so you learn this stuff. It's the same with the greens. I started with black and yellow just at first, and then black, yellow, and red, but with much more yellow to lighten it up. That's cadmium, and I went down until I started adding white, and I'll get the full range of greens in that way. And I can still mix with my brush in between, because these in no way are precisely what's on her face. And you know, I need to keep in mind too, she's gonna have a little bit more olive skin. Okay, so all that means is that I might have to green it out some. So, because that's not, put a little bit too much red. But anyway, this is like lightest light right here. So it's just the range, and I don't need to use the whole range when I'm doing the face. But you know, it's nice to see it and key it up on the palette and say, okay, this, when I this value right here, when I compare it to this value, I can see, and you know, this value to there, like this, I know where that is, right? Like I know how light or how dark that is. And then, so now, just messing with my IT measure. Okay, I need to get that back. I'll let them have it. This is, I'm just going to use ultramarine blue and yellow. So there we go. And I'm going to place this, like, so these like primary and secondary colors, I place like up top, and I'll just put this, it doesn't really matter, I'll just put that right there. Okay, so now I have that, so if I want, I can bring it out.
Is that the olive for her tone?
Yeah, like if I want to green this out some, and this will make it slightly darker.
Add it in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll make it slightly darker, but if I want it lighter, I just add a little bit of white to it. So so you gotta think, modify the color. You gotta think color, light value. So put the color in and then say, oh, did that darken it or lighten it too much? If it did, then add some white or add some darker color, and then check the actual color again to make sure that it didn't like offset it too much. So it's just a balancing act between color and light, if that makes sense. So I kind of grayed that out some, or olived it a little bit. It's still not quite olive, but that's okay. Like you can mix with the brush in between. All right, so let's go with, honestly, like, okay, I'm gonna go with these filberts just because they're soft and whatever. I mean, I challenge myself, and sometimes I'll go with, like, I blocked in a lot of the stuff with this type of brush. This is a Princeton, and it's more of a synthetic brush. It's a synthetic filbert, and it's more of a smooth, you know, you can get a smoother effect on it because it's finer bristles and such, but it has a spring to it, so it actually holds the oil paint. I could do that with this too if I wanted to. It would cut in a little bit more. I have to modify my technique, but challenge yourself with it. Still make it work. Let me catch up on chat. Sorry, I've been obviously juggling on. Hey, Harry. Yeah, Harry, if you like, you can hop in Discord with me, Queldar, and Clara. Okay, he said give him some time. Okay. Randall, hey buddy. Sweet, sounds good. Questions? Did it Pete? Did I shart or was it just a hot voice fart? Exactly. Nice entrance, by the way. Randall. I left the voice chat, gotta cook, but I'm still listening. Okay, there we go. We're good, we're good, we're caught up. That sounds good. Old man, hey Dad, can you do me a favor? You see those paper towels over there? Yeah, that's it. Can you hand me those? Thanks, good job. Yeah, Clarice, but you're very good at that, and it was very entertaining, and like I said, you have a good personality. It was funny when you were explaining about your hands as well.
Oh yeah, when I went on the monologue about drawing my own. Yeah, I
really
never
fun.
know if that's successful.
Oh yeah, it is. People love that. So I loved it. I was like, this is great. Okay, so we're gonna start with the darkest dark, and I'm gonna make it a little bit warm. So darkest dark is gonna be up top here. Now, when we do this, what's gonna happen is, watch what happens. It's gonna kind of pick. Just look at that. I have paint on it, and I'm actually picking the charcoal up. You see that? So the sides of the brushes will do that, but when you press down, see what we do? But on the sides, it kind of takes it off, so you have to be very aware of that. There you go. There's charcoal there. It's going to be mixing with the paint. You got to think of this sculpturally, right? Like sculpture. Clay lays on top of stuff, so does paint, so does charcoal. It says, here we go. What, old man? Huh? Got a power lock. Okay. And I'm going to put light into that. So just keep in mind that this face is going to go through a lot of changes until I get it correct. It's not that I just fill in. It's not paint by numbers. We don't just fill in. You know what? I'm going to work within a range of like a couple values per brush. So that's darkest dark. And I'm going to go get... Everything's going to look very, very, very dark right now. But I don't know.
You normally work from dark to light?
I do, because it's easier to lay the paint down on top of it. Like, for example, the whites that I use are opaque. Like lead white is opaque. And if you put white into black, it makes it like, you know, or black into over white, it makes it kind of muddy looking. And it does the same with the white, but it's easier to kind of like, just like Caravaggio, kind of bring the lights up, right? But also, opaque paint lays better on top of the transparent paint. It's hard. You can't go through and put the transparent over the opaque. You have to scrape down first the opaque paint, which is the lighter paint. So that's kind of the idea. Okay, so this I have to be very careful. I have to, because I'm taking up the drawing at the same time. So in other words, I'm going to lose the drawing a little bit here, and that's okay. Let's fix this.
Yeah, because you did the drawings, so you probably know where everything is anyway.
Exactly, and that's why I did it, was to get it in my head to learn it. You know, like I bet you were doing the Squid Woman last night, and
I actually talked about that in my stream.
About how you're learning it, right?
Yeah, how I'm learning it, and Laura was like, "You got that from Lewis." I'm like, maybe.
Nice, but it's true. We're Dad. Wait, what are you doing? All right, you can, Dad. That's toxic. I wouldn't mess with that. No, you don't want to mess with that. You're getting your hands all dirty. Yeah, here, Dad. Put that down. Put that. I know. Put that down here. Put that down here. Wipe your hands. Take that. Give me this. Don't need to be messing with that right now. This is my oiling out medium. Don't mess with that. Here, wipe your hands off with this. They're all sticky now. No, don't risk. Oh, never mind. Okay, we'll make it through. We'll make it through. It's fun having them in here though, at the same time. I'm gonna go with a little smaller brush, and So the reason why I'm not just going into the skin right now is if like I'm putting the features in and then I'll go, I know the shading and the structure of the skin. We'll fix, I know the profile looks like me. I understand this. Queldar, I understand.
Did you use your face as a reference?
No, it just came out that way. Cause it just did. I didn't use my face as, I didn't really use a reference. It's just the one that is the actual, one just, it's, I don't like the face. It's
yeah,
not.
she looks a bit off.
It is off. It's just, it's poorly done. And look, you know, I don't like saying that about artist work, but at the same time, when you're painting this stuff, you have to be practical about it. You have to be able to see it. I can't be like, oh, well, you know, don't want to offend anybody, so I'm just going to go ahead and paint it this way. You know, I have to do my job.
Well, I mean, it can be good in its own style, but it's not your style. Like,
Exactly.
That's the whole reason why they're paying you to do things in your way.
Yeah.
Or just, like, if you were to create the art exactly like they did, then you wouldn't be putting your spin on it, so.
That is so freaking...
It's still good art, it's just not what resonates with you or what you like, so.
Definitely.
It's not necessarily bad.
Yep, you're absolutely right. So one thing to keep in mind too is that this face is in shadow. Huh? What, Dad? I'm just talking to one of my friends on this headset, saying that this face is in shadow right here. You see I'm painting a face, Dad. Just playing with the tape measure. That's good. Okay.
Watching you put these dark values is just killing me as a watercolor artist.
Oh yeah, because you go light and then dark.
You have to go light to dark.
Oh wow.
You cannot do this. This is hard to watch.
Is it?
I mean, I trust that you know what you're doing. I really do. But I'm so used to working from light to dark, and if you were to put something that dark down, you just got to start over.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't have white. You have to use the light of the paper.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that totally. So I'm working within, this is kind of the mid-tone range, a little bit of shadow. So as you can tell, this looks darker than it actually is too, I have to say. It really does.
But it probably looks really, it's not until you put all the paint down that you can tell what the values are, right?
Exactly.
Because you don't know how they interact with each other. See, I'm learning.
Yeah, you are. You are learning. That drawing, I tell you, was very... What, Dad? Yeah? No, don't put that there. Just leave that there, okay? Alright. Dad, don't touch that. That's really toxic. Yeah. Yeah, don't touch that. That's poison. You can mess with that tape measure. You see that? Wipe your hands off. Oh my gosh, I put them right beside the toxic station. Whatever. We'll be fine. I'm sorry, Clara. What were you saying?
Oh, the Pete and Harry are actually in the general chat if you want to grab them.
Yes. Bring these guys in. Bring these guys in, and then that will fill up this room for now, because I don't want to have... I like having people, but I can't have too many at once. But I don't want to be exclusive either. That's... Pete and Harry. Hey, guys.
Yo.
We doing okay?
Yeah.
Hey. Dad, stop messing with the trash. Okay. So, normally there's a shadow, this underside shadow here, and then it kind of comes down, and then there's a little bit here, which this is actually a little bit lighter than this. You can't tell, though. But once I'm going to try to, in fact, work this area up. This contrast will be really making this look way darker than it is. And I know, like, this is a crazy concept, but then there's more light coming here, but then there's a deeper shadow right there. So I'm going to go into this and get kind of this value range here. So I'm working between here, and then I might add a little bit of this crimson just to give it a little bit of a touch here. And so this is going to be darker. It kind of comes up under, and it's defining the underside of the chin, up the jaw. So there is going to be like this is in shadow here, this face. And so like if I'm looking at it, like you have the cheekbone, which kind of comes here, the cheek. You don't want to have the cheek really sunken in, but there's oftentimes color there. Color, right? And then you have the nostril, the top part right here. And then you have this is dark. And so watch, I'm going to start, and like this is like kind of a darker value here. I might bring it in here just for the transitional purposes. And then I'm going to bring a little bit of it up into the hair here to give it, to make it turn some, because the darkest dark normally would be around here. Okay, and maybe a little bit up top if she's like, I know y'all probably can't tell. Yeah, there's not really much of a difference with that. I'm going to go into it.
It's very subtle, yeah.
Yeah, here it is very subtle, even for me. I'm going to take some blue, cool it down some, and then I'm going to go and add it up into here just a little bit. And so the main thing is that I'm just going to keep it thin for now. So, because like I'll go over it, and when you go over it later, you don't want to have like brush strokes underneath, and then you go over it and it's like it doesn't correspond to the thick brush strokes underneath. It's just a very unpleasant technique. Alright, so now I'm going to get another brush. Dad, stop. Okay, yeah, you can mess with that, but stop messing with. Don't touch that thing. Okay. Tell you what, let's do. I want to try to find a filbert. Let's do a filbert. This is like a 6. I always say like what they are, but they always differ depending on what brand you get. Ninja. Okay. So here we are, filbert. That's kind of the same size, and I really don't care. It's just, this is a big brush. We don't need a very small thing. So let's go into, I'm going to keep it in this value range right here because her face is in shadow. Now, if I want to bring light out, I can start working in this value range. But at first, let's just keep it down here. But I'm going to take this. I have a brush for this area. I have a brush for this area. So let's make a brush for this area right here. So I'm going to take this. All right. And, I say we work from dark to light, but you can always go darker with it. You can still do that. It's just, it makes it easier. Okay. Let's add this in.
Your paintbrushes look just like my makeup brushes.
I do my makeup with them too. Watch.
Yeah, it's successful.
Kidding. Watch artist poison himself on live stream for views, and he didn't get any views from it. Instead, he went to the hospital. Dad's laughing. He thought that was funny.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of nasty like chemicals and stuff in the light.
Oh yeah, there's all sorts.
Like cadmium.
Oh yeah, cadmium.
You're using flake white, right? Out
Dad,
of curiosity.
Don't put this there. Here, move. This is a clothes. Oh, you just broke it. Went in the trash. Don't put your arm on that. That's poisonous. What was that, Harry? Was that Harry?
Yeah, that is me. You're using flake white, right?
Public Wi-Fi?
No, flake white, lead white.
Oh no, yeah, lead white. I am, yes, lead.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How do you store it? Like, it's kind of.
So I put it on a tray, and then I just put it in the freezer. Yeah.
Keeping my tubes clean is like a whole different task.
It slows the oxidation process down when I do that.
Yeah, I'm aware. Keeping paints under water does the same thing.
Yeah, in water, yeah. I used to do that, but I don't like doing that.
Yeah, it soaks the oil out of it. It dries, but in a very weird way. Yeah.
It's just, you always have to like tap the water out. It gets all over the palette. There's no, if you have a freezer, I would just put it in the freezer. I mean,
Wait, are you putting the whole palette in the freezer, or are you putting just the paint tubes?
So I put the paint in the freezer, like, I take this off and I put it on a tray. I'm just gonna have to wash his hands after. I put it on like this tray, and then I put the tray in the freezer. This thing I always clean because otherwise it would cake up. All right, so I want to show you all something here, and John Singer Sargent's very good at this, and you can actually see in his work. So this is like the underpainting, but like notice how I was doing this. I was doing these strokes like this, right? And it makes it look like you can turn the form that way, right? You can kind of see that. However, John Singer Sargent would mix it up, and he would do some of these strokes like kind of going back and forth like that. And when you do that and turn the form that way, it really gives it more of a three-dimensional effect. And so this is like in drawing. Remember, like in drawing, I was explaining, I was like, you can go with the form. This is going with the form right here, and then going across it, okay? And it's easier to do than in drawing than paint, all right? But you can do it in paint, and if you can do it in drawing, that's getting a step closer in doing it in paint, and that's a very important way to help make your drawing, your painting, the drawing in your painting, look believable. All right, so normally up in the forehead, you're gonna have more oranges. So I'm just, keeping this very basic, and we want it like it's colorful right now. So I'm gonna round that forehead just a little bit more because like it went in some, and then it goes down here. And then this nose, I might bring it out just a little bit, maybe just a little. I can bring that back in if I want. So put some light into it. It a little bit more malleable with some walnut oil, and then I'm going to get a really close grip up top. Like I could do this, but I'm going to try to get more control. Make sure my pinky is on the point that's not going to smear the painting. I'm going to sculpt the nose just a little bit here, kind of make it a little bit rounded because I accidentally lost some effect there. And then I'm just going to bring this in, and same with the nostril area here. And then I'm going to go across the form here. Across the form.
I did do the across the form strategy for my pencil drawings yesterday.
Did you? How'd you like it?
It worked really well.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people were like, that looks so good.
Yeah.
I stole that maybe. See, I'm learning a lot.
You are. That's really good. It's actually encouraging hearing you say that because like that across the form stuff, I don't know, I'm sure somebody taught me, but like I know that after a while it just started coming natural to me, and I think though it probably came from also seeing all those guys do, like you're around people all the time and picking up stuff that you don't even know you're picking up. So I'm going across the form right now.
And I've heard it in other places before. It's just
nice
practice.
Yeah.
And that and like using straight lines versus the chicken scratch lines is something that changed my drawings completely.
Yeah, definitely. So I greened this out just a little bit down here because normally it's a little bit cooler and greener down the chin area. Like normally it gets cool around here. Normally this is green area in here, but then it might be a little bit more orange here. It transitions.
How many layers do you work in usually?
How many layers?
Yes.
That's a very good question, Harry. I don't know if I could answer that question. I would say maybe 3 or 4, maybe. I don't know. It really just depends on how much I'm working on it,
Yeah.
But whatever it is, I try to keep it fresh, and I might scrape down depending on where I'm at with it. That's an excellent question.
I recently started using wood panels instead of canvas, and I love them. Like canvas is so much difficult to work with. Like the quality is just night and day.
Dad, I need those. Those are my tools. Are you taking them? Yeah. So, all right, I'll just let him mess with this. Screw it. I'm sorry, Harry. What was that?
Yeah, just like wood panels are, I think, significantly better than in canvas.
I
day.
think so too. I've been working on them recently quite a bit. Okay, so I'm going to go with the darker value here and just fill this in just for the sake. So.
What makes them better? I've never heard of using wood panels. I thought that was just like an old art thing.
What do you think, Harry? What makes them better?
Less texture. They're also more archival, so there's that. they actually used to paint on wood panels. Canvas was a new thing because they wanted to paint big paintings and take them to exhibitions in royal palaces or whatever. So that was the reason why canvases came into the picture. Otherwise, it's preferred to do it on wood panels.
Like some people, like sometimes the texture is not a bad thing, but everything else you said I really agree with, because the wood is more durable. What happens over time with linen canvases is that they absorb moisture, and when you absorb moisture and there's moisture in the air, or the air is arid, that you're going to have expansion and contraction of the actual linen. While oil paint over time continuously dries. It doesn't stop drying. It continuously gets more brittle, especially if you use like lots of cobalt or cobalt dryer. Don't use cobalt dryer in your work. It's not worth it. It'll make your paint brittle, and that will, so the combination of oil paint getting more brittle over time and the canvases expanding and contracting, what's that going to do? It's going to make it so that your canvases, your painting's going to crack. That's why you see.
Oh, that has completely happened to me.
Yep.
All my pieces have cracks in
That's
them.
what that is.
Oh,
And-
That's also due to not following the lean and thick over called oil on lean, something like that. I can't remember the phrase properly, but yeah.
Well,
like
if
more
you
oil on
use-
top. Yeah.
If you use too much medium in your paint, that can do it too. But that's why.
At the start of the layer. At the
Huh?
start of the painting. At the start of the painting, you use too much oil, and then you try to thin it out with thinners, and then it doesn't really match well.
Because the under layers are like,
Yeah.
it's
Oilier.
oily, and then the top dries quicker than the bottom. Well, then you're essentially trapping that moisture down below the surface, and so the top part, which is dry already, is on a surface that's unstable, and it's as that surface underneath slowly dries, it's going to have contraction and it's going to crack the paint on top. So that's what he's talking about, and he's right, absolutely. But like, you can still have that in wood paintings, but wood paintings aren't going to have the expansion and contraction as much. Number one, you got to paint on hardwood, but number two, they're more durable. Look at that. They're durable. Like, you can really do a lot with it. If you're not going to have stuff going through it, and this is 1/2 inch thick, and it's gesso ground, but I want to do oil. Oil would seal it even better than gesso. This will last for a long time.
No, actually,
I
they
haven't
have to
forgotten about you
apply.
guys.
They have to apply a base layer before they apply the oil layer. So Sargent used rabbit skin glue to make sure there's a layer between the wood panels and the.
Harry, keep talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys,
okay.
I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm juggling a painting, speaking.
Yeah, it's a lot to
and then-
do all at once.
But
Yeah, yeah.
Experience.
It's my dad. I have to keep an eye on him.
I can talk to Harry.
Yeah, talk for a second. Give me a second.
So, Harry, what do you think if you were a person were to paint a canvas that was 2 by 3 yards big, stretch canvas, and then they took it off the frame and then they rolled it up and put it under their bed for 10 years?
Yeah, the white parts of the paint would yellow because funny thing is that white pigment actually requires some amount of sunlight to stay white. So I've seen this video about how some person on YouTube took like different brands of white paint and applied and painted it and kept it in the dark and just compared the results. So
Is there any way to
lot
fix those paintings, or am I just screwed? So those are my paintings that are under my bed for 10 years.
I would expose them to sunlight ideally.
Yeah. Expose
Yeah.
them? So I should expose them to sunlight?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I'll
should.
give that a shot. They're very cracked and yellow. Like, you absolutely
So you've rolled them up. That's one reason they cracked.
And
The other
louder.
one is like
Sorry.
you're not following the fat over lean rule. Yeah, that's what it's called, fat over lean. and third one is you're keeping them like in a very clumsy manner. So yeah.
Well, if they're too big, that I can't keep them in the frame. I can't even fit
Oh,
them in a
what are you
car.
painting exactly? Like 2-3 yards?
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
real
know what
big.
yards are.
I don't know. They're probably
Yeah.
there's like 3 feet in a yard, or do you need metric?
Yeah, I use metric. So okay, almost like 2.7 meters. What are you painting exactly?
I
I haven't seen
painted
your work though.
in a previous life. I did a lot of oil painting in high school and college. That I like to paint really big. That was just
Okay.
my
Nice.
thing. I painted very large, and I painted a lot of hands. And I just like the feeling like of a big painting. If you see a big painting, it just like kind of consumes you. You have to like fall into the painting. You know what? If you look at a small painting, it's nice. It's like you're looking into a little world. A large painting, just like you become part of it. And I just love that feeling. It's really expensive, and it's hard to keep those canvases.
Have you seen Bouguereau's work in person?
Whose work?
At William Adolphe Bouguereau. Louis actually did a master's study of his
Bouguereau.
painting.
Yeah.
Bouguereau. Okay.
Yeah.
It's called Bouguereau. Some people call it Bouguereau. So I go with Bouguereau. Yeah, because that's like a French way of pronouncing it.
Right.
From what I know.
Bouguereau's French, I think. Isn't it?
Whatever.
French.
We know the person we're talking about.
Yeah, we know who it is.
Yeah.
So he painted really large? I didn't know that.
Yeah, just a sec. I'm getting a call.
That's a great ringtone.
Yeah.
Harry, of course. That is funny. There we go. So I'm going to keep this a little bit darker as well. And I'm actually...
that looks so nice.
Doesn't it? So
that color, oh my gosh. It makes everything pop.
Yeah, and this, I don't know if y'all can tell, but it actually makes this look a little bit lighter. Okay. To me it does. I'm just looking at that, but still I need to fill the rest of that in, which I'm not gonna probably won't do that, but I do need to get this. I don't need to get the exact color on it. It's okay if I don't, because I'm just trying to fill the canvas here.
Yeah, just lay the first layer down, basically.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Are you gonna do that highlight on her nose as well?
I might. Yeah, I might do something like that. I might do some. We'll see what I can see. I can bring that light up. That's the beauty of working kind of mid-tone to dark. Let me just find which one I was working with. Which was this one.
I'm a sucker for really cool looking highlights like that.
Oh,
I think they're one of my favorite things to do, and they're real fun to do with watercolor because all you have to do is just not paint that area.
Definitely.
I don't remember. Did you say you've done watercolor or not?
No, not really. I mean, I've done it before. It's just I'm not a watercolor person. You know.
It's very different from oil.
Oh. Yeah. Definitely. I've seen there's guys on Instagram I follow and they put their time lapse of stuff on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so different. And I feel like it's probably harder in a lot of ways than oil painting is because you can't mess up. Did you eat your sandwich? Oh, good. He's eating his sandwich. Okay. So here we're
not getting lead paint.
This shape. And then I'm going to use a flat of it here. So I use quite a bit of oil. This is going to make it a darker stroke. Chin, I don't want to bring it in too much. It's a little bit purpley, but that's okay. We'll fix this later. I'm just trying to get the value.
Did you say purple-aid?
Purple-aid? I said purple-aid.
Purple-aid. Oh, purple-aid.
Hey, it's Pete.
You know what I love? The YouTube videos?
Oh, yeah.
Secret to drawing.
secret to drawing. It will change your
And,
life.
and then there's this person, and they show you site size, and I'm like, wait, that's site size.
Yeah.
This is my method. No, that's not your method. This is how I do it. And I'm like, oh, you can't put a new label on an old package. Everybody gonna know that's what's that stuff called? Lucky Charms. You know?
Yeah.
It's just got a bad flavor to it.
Yeah. And I think I'll do a video where I take credit for just the creation of art in general one day.
Yeah. Oh, that
I
would be
invented
funny.
oil painting.
I'd like to tell you about my greatness
Yeah.
and how I invented art.
Exactly.
Some credit it to the Greeks or the ancient Mesopotamians, but I alone. Did I hit the Lewis vibe there?
You did.
I don't think it was
Randall.
strong enough. You need a little more.
Randall says, sounds good. We're cooking up bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches lunchtime here. Dude, that is so good. Clara, or Laura, the mighty Laura. Large paintings have an immersive feeling. That they do. Pete needs a channel. Yeah, that's the second time you said it, Pete. You should think about it.
You know, I'm hesitant on that.
It's work,
Truly
man, but you can do it.
Channel.
You have a good personality for it.
Yeah, but I got a face for radio, so.
Nah, man, I saw a
That's
picture
the
of
thing
you.
with art.
You did?
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you. That's the thing. It's one of those things where, you know, like, you're your own worst critic with that stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
you see stuff that people don't see. I mean, look, there are a lot of people out there who aren't like ideal fashion
Oh no, I
or
was
whatever,
never
but screw that. You can't
far
do
beyond that. I'm
People
the
don't
most
watch
handsomest
that.
man in the
That only goes so far. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who, you know, they're good looking, but they're boring as hell. I want to be one of those.
Have you ever seen the show 30 Rock?
Yeah, I have seen that.
Okay,
Those,
so have you ever seen the episode where what's her name is dating a like he's a doctor, but he's like so good looking, right?
yeah.
And everybody just gives him everything,
Oh yeah.
but he got his he became a doctor because he was so good looking. Like everybody agreed with him, you know?
Yeah.
It's just funny, you know?
It is.
That's what I expect in the world for me.
Well, it's funny too, like that. I'm talking about this is yeah, Pete, that was too subtle. Lewis is more on the nose. Pete needs a chance. Wait, I missed that part though. I don't know what you're talking about. As usual, Quildar. But yeah, you know, Chris Hemsworth, of course, like in Ghostbusters, was hilarious in that movie. But people would always just throw him like sandwiches and stuff, just because, you know, he's like so good looking and stuff, and just so simple. But he was an idiot, and it was a really good character he played there.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, there's some truth to that, but I mean, is it that, like I said, it only goes so far, right?
With that.
Huh?
I said, I wish people would throw sandwiches at me.
In like a good way, not a bad way, right?
No, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I've had sandwiches thrown at me in a bad way.
Depends on the sandwich. You know, some sandwiches.
It's lunchtime around here. I'm
You're right.
surprised that
Yeah.
Everybody's
Get
talking
out.
about sandwiches, bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
don't
I
have
like
any
tuna.
bacon.
Randall
I like
has the
tuna
right.
sandwiches.
Randall does have the right idea. Okay, so now we can start tweaking things. Let's kind of get rid of some of this white in here. It'll help some.
I found my new favorite
I
pencil.
learned that from Claire last night. We should turn this, get rid of the white spots. See, Clara? You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From oil. I mean, you knew that already. That's an oil painting thing, right?
Well, I mean, I've never turned the canvas for that. Like, I just get rid of them. But, like, you can flip it to see proportional discrepancies and stuff. But yeah, it sometimes does help too. But, like, if you're having trouble seeing it, that's totally valid.
That's what my art teacher taught me. He said you gotta really spend time to get rid of all the white, because even the smallest little white piece that you don't think you can see will make a difference. He was very dedicated.
Yeah.
Oil painter.
See that? That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah. It's kind of like this type of work. You just work it up, and there's literally no way you can have white afterwards because of how much time we spend working on this.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those people that does things in like 1 or 2 passes. I'll work in a few layers, but that's why I need to do it more. But yeah, if you're working in like multiple layers, you're probably gonna get everything covered.
Laura says you have to be Chris Hemsworth handsome. That's a pretty high bar. And then now Lewis is learning from us. Don't get too cocky. I mean, he's not that good looking.
No, I would have to disagree. I'm completely probably the most handsomest man in the planet.
There we go. That's the attitude.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, Queldar. Okay, I think that's better. So it looks a little bit pink. More pink than it is in reality. Like, just FYI, I might go into it with the filter, but yeah, you know what? I am gonna go into it with the filter. Give me a second. I'm gonna color correct this for you guys. Dead,
Sorry,
don't touch
guys,
this.
I'll be around, but I have to go down and.
No worries, man. Do your thing. Do your thing.
Calling me to make dinners or lunch, or whatever the hell they do nowadays.
You do your thing. Alright, I'm gonna correct this. I guess depending on how I have the camera zoomed in or zoomed out, it makes it like changes the color slightly. Filters. Let me do this. I know hue shift. That's what I want. Much. Maybe something like this. That's a little bit closer. All right, that's a little bit closer to how.
Yeah, it was a lot red before, not more red.
It was, and it's still not quite right. But I'm going off of. This is the healthiest balance that I can get with it, because otherwise the red's not, like, the red's a little bit redder than it looks, and the face is not as red, if that makes sense. So there's a range of the hue range is off in the like actual camera work. And charismatic. Laura. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna start just working this. So I might change things. I might change them back. I'm just gonna keep on working on this face a little bit. See what we can do with it. That's how you block it in, right? And if I kind of, one thing that will help, because really the ideal thing at this stage, like, I block the face in, and normally I would keep it here and I'd go somewhere else. But for the sake of the stream, I'm going to work the face up a little bit more, and there's no harm in doing that. It's all good. But the reason why, again, y'all can probably guess it at this point, the reason why I would go around and fill everything in is so that I can see these values properly. Now, if you have to work with light values all around, like I have it, if you had to, one method you could do is do a window, right? So you make a little window, you put your eye up to it, you squint down, and you just look through that window. And what it is, what I'm seeing, I'm blocking out all this peripheral out here, and I just look at this. And what that does, it makes it so that you can see the values properly, because it's getting rid of all the white that contrasts everything and makes it look darker. So that's one way that I can more accurately judge what needs to happen on the actual face. Now, this is good. You ate your sandwich? I'll get him more food to entertain him. So one, like, I forgot where I was going with that. Give me 1 second. Harry, entertain everybody for a second. No
Okay.
pressure. No pressure.
Yeah. Sure. You the person who was I can't remember your name. Fuck me.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah. Claire. Okay. Sorry, it's like Claire, but no, it's not Claire.
It's
Jeez.
Clara, isn't
Clara. Yeah. So, like you said you painted watercolors as well.
Yeah, I do watercolor painting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Probably because it's you can paint faster and more economical.
Fair enough. Have you seen Sargent's watercolors? Like, apparently he started off with the darks rather than working the other way around, which is what the modern approach is for the most part.
Oh, he started off with watercolor?
Yeah, no. He when he was doing watercolors, on site, right? So he used to do landscapes in watercolors. So he used to just like start with the darks. He used to take
Oh.
huge papers and just like put in the darkest, paint wherever he could, and
How
then
do you
start
do
off with
that?
that.
With
I don't
watercolor?
know. So I started drawing like 5 years ago with, graphite or whatever, and I wanted to explore the mediums. So I came across watercolor, color pencils, and all these things like acrylics. Didn't come to oils back then. I settled with pastel pencils, and this is one of the things that I learned about, watercolors eventually. Like
Yeah,
he
I
started off
can't
with the darks.
understand how you can start with the dark. I mean,
What does
unless you're
that
like
do?
really good at planning, then maybe.
Well,
could work.
so here's the thing: is that he was an excellent draftsman. He knew where everything was going to be. He could see it. He obviously didn't make the mistakes that a lot of people do, just because he had
Yeah, and
this
he
drawing.
worked on like huge papers,
Mhm.
right? So what that used to allow him to do is that he could basically crop out small paintings from that huge painting.
Right.
So he didn't have to worry about composition per se when working with watercolors.
Oh, interesting. That might be a cool strategy to try.
Yeah, so that was one of the techniques that he used, from what I know. This is something that I heard from Stephen Bauman, not Stefan Bauman. Stefan Bauman. Yeah, I think
Stephen.
that's his name.
Yeah, Stephen Bauman.
No. That's not. They're actually two different people on YouTube.
Oh, they are. It's not the one from the Florence Academy. It's a different guy.
No, it's a different guy.
Oh.
Yeah, he has like long videos on his channel, and
Oh, he
he
does?
talks about. Yeah. And he just
Oh.
talks about
Yeah.
what he learned about painting.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mm.
The woman looks happier in the version, in your version, Lewis, like she is getting something good out of her experience. That's what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get a very peaceful look. It's very awkward right now. Like, so keep this in mind with faces is that like one or two like brush strokes will make it look so off. That's how it is, because we recognize faces more than anything. If a tree is off a little bit, we're not gonna really tell, because trees are so diverse in nature. But faces, genetically, you have eyes in a certain place, you have nose, you have mouth, and for the most part, if something's like really off, like imagine Goonies, the mutant in Goonies his face is all twisted and stuff. I mean, it's very obvious, because we know eyes are supposed to be here, mouth is like this, in the ballpark of it makes sense. So having a brush stroke off, like, having like this looks a little bit weird in here. Everything does, because it's like, this represents like folding skin or something going on, or it might not be working properly. But just keep that in mind when you're developing these things, especially if you're making stuff up like I am. And I don't recommend doing this. It's just I've done this so much. You can do it for practice. Why not? So what I'm doing here, I'm actually bringing this eyebrow down some. But I'm pulling the paint down into it. I'm going across the form. I'm not flowing with it this way. Like this would be flowing with this part, but I'm going kind of across it here. Okay, going across, like over the transition. I'm not flowing with the transition. And that's a very nice thing if you can do it. Like, again, John Singer Sargent, especially, like, look at some of his early works, and like look at the transitions in this area right here, and you'll see actually combinations of strokes going this way and then that way, like especially the light. He'll have the light coming here, and he'll brush it here, but he brushes it, and it's not a harsh transition. It's very soft, and it flows into the others, especially like his mid-tone transitions. He was very good at pulling it across the form, and what that did, it made it look actually more three-dimensional. It wasn't going this way with it, which made it look kind of smoothed out, but it went this way, which made it feel like the skin's turning over it. It was a really cool effect that he was very good at doing that. So
I actually have a folder on my laptop, like filled with old master paintings, and he's got like a folder of his own.
Nope.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So he follows the form till the edge of the shadow, and then like each brushstroke informs the form. That's like really the part that intrigues me from his work is the fact that each brushstroke, like some of his brushstrokes had multiple colors in them.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that. Like managing that is just like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
At all. Like,
well, can't you just have multiple colors on the brush?
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just, and these are like, if you squint, right, like each face. So comparing Buguro with Sargent in terms of value structure.
Right.
So Buguro has a range of values, whereas Sargent just has like very simplified values.
Right.
Like, and within those values, he'll play with warms and codes. It's just really fascinating how both of their works are so interesting.
Yeah.
I'd really like to do a copy of a master of his work, especially if you're the watercolors, because I was just checking them out and they look really awesome.
Yep.
So I might do
should.
copy.
And that's the way to learn. And you know what you could do too is experiment with starting with the darks, like he did. But after, you know what I would do? You know what I would do? It is. Yeah. But you know what I would do is do a copy or two of the same drawing, and then the third copy, when you have it in your head, start with the darks. Think of how he did it, all right, and read up on how he did it. This is what I do with Bouguereau, all that stuff. And
well, yeah, if I'm doing the painting for the third time, I'm definitely going to be more comfortable starting with the darks.
There you go.
The face you're painting, Lewis, right now is very Bouguereau-esque, like in the sense that his the characters that are not in focus blend in terms of the value with the background, right? Colors are a lot more subtle. That's what intrigues me. A part of me is intrigued by his style, about how he described forms in such a compressed value range. Like he described forms clearly of background characters. You could clearly see when the form's turning. Even though the value range is so, it's easy to do it when like there's a dramatic light effect.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. You are absolutely.
That's the subtlety I enjoy personally.
Yeah. Let's go to. So, what have you been working on recently, Harry?
I've been like I wanted to start with bark drawings, right?
Bark drawings?
I told you, yeah. But then as of now, I just like there's so much pressure considering college and everything. I'm just like painting whatever I enjoy. So I'm just enjoying painting right now, and then I'll get to the academic
Good man.
stuff.
Good man. That's a good attitude to have.
Yeah, I don't want to pressure myself into doing things that I might not enjoy. Just like taking things slow.
Take it easy.
I painted a Daredevil painting recently on wood panels. It came out really well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. You saw it as well, I think so. It sort of blew up, so I wasn't able to keep track. Yeah, I've been looking at Lady Agnew's painting from Sargent, right? It's just
Madam
like
X?
interesting.
The Madam X one?
Yeah, I think it's
one
called
with-
Lady Agnew.
Is
The
that
lady sitting on.
Is that who that is? She's sitting?
No. She's sitting. Yeah, purple dress.
The poker dress. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
That's a really good portrait. I enjoy.
Nice, man.
But I don't know. I just like have folders of everybody that I personally enjoy.
Okay.
I don't know.
So now what? I'm sorry. Go on.
No, go ahead. I have nothing else to add.
I was going to say, so there's a combination of me having filled this area in, and so this doesn't look as dark, but also it's starting to sink in just a little bit, which is okay. But I can still continuously build the paint up and push the values, push the darks. Now, I'm keeping this mid-tone. I want you to all see this for a second. I'm going to, for a very brief moment, I'm going to actually put some light on her face, and I want to show you exactly how, like, normal value, like a highlight or something, might look. And keep in mind, this will get sullied a little bit because of the paint that is lying underneath. But, okay, and I'm going to put like a really light spot on really quick, and then I'm going to take it off. But like on the forehead, for example, see that? Like I can go, let's see how that looks. I can go much lighter if I want. But here's the thing. In fact, I can go lighter than that. It's just kind of like the brush was on here. Let me actually put some highlight down. Like that is, that's pretty light, right? So now we can get a nice light effect. I can even push the darks around it if I want. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to scrape this off. All right. And then a very brilliant move that takes literally no effort on my part at all. Just put that back in. So we kind of smooth that back out and brought the value up just a little bit. That's okay. We'll leave that there. But what I can do now is I can start really pushing some of the darks, right? Like underneath here. And it might not get too much darker here. It might not get too much darker, right? But I can always bring those darks back up if it's too dark, right? If it's too dark, I can always bring those darks back up. I can make them lighter. Add a little bit of alizarin crimson here, and I'm going to go into the bottom part of the chin. And now I accidentally brought that in too much with the shadow. Okay, and so I'll show you how you fix that. I'm going across the form right now. I'm not going with it. All right. Let's go in with, what was kind of our mid-tone. I'm going to lighten that mid-tone brush up. Dad, stop messing with that. Yeah, don't mess with that because that's poison. Yeah, bad for you. Alright, so I'm going to go in with a mid-tone. I'm going to kind of drag this up into it. So I'm trying to make this turn more. When I make this darker, it's going to make this appear slightly lighter. And it's just a balancing act between them. Alright, so I need to, like, okay, so this nostril kind of comes up just a little bit more. Give it some characteristic effects here, just that are unique to her own face. Alright. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go in with, in fact, here, I'm going to go in this brush with the nostril, and I'm going to scoop up some red here, and I'm going to go up into it some, because if you really look at nostrils, they actually have a lot of color. I'm going to bring that nostril up like inordinately higher than it is. I'm going to bring that up high. That's a high nostril. Alright, and I'm going to go back in with the mid-tone brush that I'm using right here. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to really push the alizarin in this. I'm going to make it very red, but not so much red as this right here because I don't want to continue the nostril. And I'm going to start shaping the area around it here. And we're going to do slight mid-tone going around here to denote the curve of the nostril. Up into the light area. This has become too thin, but let's bring this up some, just a little bit. Alright, so now we're just shaping things. We're shaping everything, right? We're shaping it. And then let's bring some of this color up into here, because what's happening is it's looking a little bit dead because you have grays in the transitional areas. Alright, it's good to have a combination of grays. But it has to be in tandem with the color. Okay. Don't touch that bag. Here, give me that bag. Give me that. And actually, you know what? Leave that there because it's actually blocking him because he's putting his hand on this toxic. Dad, eat this. Good man. You still hungry? You are? guys are good for, y'all are patient. I do appreciate this. Alright, so now let's work the eyes some. And keep in mind, whatever I do here, I can always change. The eyes really do make a difference here. So I'm kind of doing a combination of dragging and pulling the paint. This looks like she has a black eye. There is a shadow there, but perhaps not that much.
Hey, you know what I was thinking?
What were you thinking, Pete?
I don't know. Hold on. No I'm kidding. I just decided I was going to open a package and try and talk at the same time and see what happened.
Nice.
Randall, it didn't work.
It didn't work. Good one, Queldar. Please exit through the gift shop. I like that. I can't resist getting that table roni bar. What that is? That's pretty funny. You must resist. Self-discipline is the path to six-pack.
Toblerone.
Toblerone. What is that?
Toblerone. It's the triangle chocolate that tastes amazing.
Oh, it is?
It's like a little nugget.
It's got almond.
Yeah, it's got like.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That does sound amazing.
If I had some, I'd send it to you, but I don't have any. I would have eaten it.
So normally what happens, so this, I need to work the form up here, which means build anatomy, okay? So normally what's happening here, you have the eye socket, and then it gets darker here, but it does kind of come up a little bit here. This part, it does not go in that way, right? There's flesh here, it kind of comes up. It'll be a little bit darker here, but then there's going to be light coming in through here. So I just need to work those transitional areas because it looks like she got punched in her face. Dad says he thinks she did.
You wanted some critique? It's not actually critique.
Please, please.
Her nose is too downturned, I think.
This one is going too down?
I think it needs to be the nose, and that could just be her.
Oh, it's
her anatomy.
No, you're absolutely right, and it's also the angle of the camera is looking down some, which is accentuating it. I'll fix that definitely. That's actually a very good critique. All right, let me fix this. I'm going to bring some light up here, and like I said, it's going to be darker up top, and then it's going to be kind of shaping that eyelid some. There we go, and then it kind of turns into it. There. Okay, and then I'm going to actually, let's bring the eye out just a little bit that way. Bring it out just a little bit more. And we're going to have a value that's in between these two, perhaps to make it turn into the dark. And then with this part right here, it kind of comes up and then it comes down like that. Like normally comes in something like that. It kind of like, there's this dark part that kind of comes out. And let me try to get this, and then I'll fix the nose for you, Claire. So
yeah, it looks better for her eye.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about, like small stuff like that. And we slowly build it, and I might even get, okay, so that transition's not working right because that looks like it's not flowing into it, made it look like too harsh, and so simply what we do, we just work to the transition. I could go down like that with the form, but I'm going to go across it because I'm an expert. And then I'm slowly just going to pull it. Alright, so let's just soften it some, so that kind of did it. And then we're going to flip the brush with a smoother paint. And then it normally kind of comes up a little bit into the eye like that. I'm kind of pulling the light paint over to form the bridge of the nose. So what Claire's talking about is that this part's coming up, but then it kind of goes down like that too much. So I'm going to actually work this. I actually made it worse, but I'm just saying the foundation here, and then I'm going to bring up with the shadow. And when I did that, but I noticed that it's the right value and there's enough color in it. So those two things, check the color, check the value, always in a brush stroke, even at this stage, but more basic at this stage. You don't need to spend all day doing it at this stage. All right, so then what we're going to do, the reason why it looks like that too is, if you remember, I brought the nostril up, right? So it is going to dip down, but it's still making it look like really her nose is okay, but this transition's not working here. Like if you see the underside, but that's kind of blending in for you guys. But I'm going to bring the light up a little bit here, maybe. And then, let's take this value here, but what we're going to do, take this, green it out some. And then we're going to work, bring this in. So we're working with the background now just a little bit. The thing is, I kind of want her nose hooking down a little bit, but I think it was hooking down a little bit too much.
Yeah, it depends on the anatomy of the person. Some people's, like my nose, I mean, I'm used to that because my nose goes up actually. But some people's noses go straight or down.
Yeah.
Even when they're looking up.
Yep.
So it depends on what you're going for. I draw a lot of faces, so I'm very that is the one thing that I do know a little bit how to draw faces.
Yeah.
I'm not as good at anatomy, but for faces, and also,
definitely.
like I said, from doing my own makeup, I'm pretty perceptive on my own face.
I've noticed that with women is that when they do their makeup, they're seeing all this stuff. Like I don't know how y'all see this. It's almost very artistic. Okay, so I'm gonna actually bring the nose in on the front. I'm gonna kind of have it curve a little bit. See how this does, but I don't want to make it too thin. So I'm gonna chop that off a little bit. Kind of, because I want kind of a curve there. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up a little bit here. Maybe I bring the top part out some. I don't know. Okay, wait. Maybe I bring this in just a little bit more.
I would bring the top part. I'd give her a little bit more of a bridge.
Well,
yeah,
you gotta keep in mind, it's like, it's like an Indian.
The camera is at an angle. Also, there's also
what?
the camera's at an angle, so
it is. Let me fix the camera for you guys, because that will make. Dad, stop touching that stuff! I swear you're gonna be poisoned by the time you get back home. Huh? Thanks. I'll take those. I got them. They're all greasy. It's not good. It's bad. It's very bad. Hey. Son of a bitch. Alright, I'm going to fix the angle of this because it is affecting what you guys see a little bit. Okay. Got that. Don't touch that. Don't touch. Dad, that is paint. If you get paint on yourself, just don't do it, okay? Giant child. Stop.
So I found a good reference. Do you want me to put it in Discord?
Yes, please. Do that, and I might actually use it. We'll see.
Oh wait, you've put the reference of this painting in the Discord, right? Okay. I can look this up.
It's a Shutterstock, but it'll just give you an idea.
Okay.
And it's an Indian woman.
Oh, good.
And it looks like the same exact angle you're trying to achieve.
Oh, it does? Is it?
Yeah.
Did you put it in
it's very
Discord?
lucky. Yeah, I put it in Discord.
No way. It does, but I don't know if that's what I want. Because of the angle of the nose and the forehead. Let me show you what...
You want something more sloped than that?
I have an idea. I had one... Like, I sketched it... Give me a sec. I'm going to shut this off. It'll come back on in a second. Let me try to find it. Let's see if I can get this one in. Okay, this woman... Okay, let me... But it's not her, but it's kind of the profile that I wanted a little bit, which is not mine still because I haven't been going off this, but maybe I'll revert back to this. Let me send this. Hey, Dad, you see that white cord? Actually, no, I can't. Never mind. You can leave that. Leave that cord there. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. You can leave that. Yeah, that one's fine, but just drop it back that way. That's okay. I'm sending myself one right now.
Curiosity, Lewis. Is this like commissioned from a Sikh person? Like the person's a Sikh?
The Sikh?
I know it's confidential. Yeah, like the person who commissioned you this painting.
Yeah.
Sheik.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It was, yeah. This is but the guy who commissioned it is like his cousin has the painting himself.
It's actually a photo, might not be the painting. It's actually one of the 10 gurus in
It is.
Sikhism. Yeah,
Yeah.
the third one. I'm a
Yeah.
Sikh. I just
Oh, cool.
figured this. Yeah. I'm not religious. That's why I was like, is it? Yeah, I'm agnostic.
Want some? You got enough? You did? Okay. I'm just gonna leave these over here because he put those on the napkin where I wipe like all like this junk. Okay, sorry guys. Got this coming. I know this is kind of a hectic stream. I'm doing my best here.
You're doing great.
Thank you. It's good having
Yeah,
you guys
fine.
on. All right.
Slurp my popsicle.
Lick your popsicle, you say?
Yeah, it's delicious. It's a balata.
Barato. Okay.
It's Mexican. It's a Mexican popsicle.
It is? Okay. That's cool. Mexican popsicle.
Yeah, they're so good. They're like made with like real fruit and like
Stop hitting that.
and sugar cane.
Yeah,
All the
Gentian is your.
Add source. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one I liked her profile. It's not going to be the exact same, but there were elements of it that I did like quite a bit. This woman. Let me. She has a very beautiful profile, I thought, because I just didn't like the forehead protruding as much as it did. Now this is not a high quality photograph here.
Oh yeah, her nose is a lot more angular.
Yeah,
rounder.
right.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
It's that. So, but
And you have to tilt it too, right?
But keep in mind, like I had literally used this just for the skeleton, and then I kind of just modified it from there. So like I wasn't really going off it, but I might go into it a little bit more. But I also, obviously that's not the peaceful look that I'm going for, and I'm modifying things to make it look like I want it, right? So I'm going to modify this, but I'm taking elements of this. Does that make sense? So this is kind of what I'm going for. So let me actually pull that up.
She has a really nice brow line.
It's a beautiful, beautiful woman, and
That's my wife.
that's my wife you're talking. One Pete. It like actually is his wife.
No. No.
Sec.
It isn't.
I'll pull this up. I'm gonna save this and I'll start using this as a reference. I'll make some corrections based off this and see where we can go.
You could follow the eye in the one that I sent you, because the one that you have, her eyes open. But if you wanted to see,
Yeah, you're right.
Her eye looks pretty good, but it matches pretty close to
You're
hers,
absolutely
so
right. I could do that. Saved.
Same with the mouth, because the mouth in your reference, she's not smiling. She looks dead. But the one I sent, she has like a tiny, tiny little smirk.
Absolutely.
So that could help.
Yeah. I might do a combination of the two. I actually might
or
do
another
a
one.
combination.
Pick a different one too. But I like the fact that she has more emotion in your version, because I was talking about this yesterday in my stream. I hate the look of people without emotion. They look dead.
Exactly. Dad? That's my lunch over there. Are you still hungry? Come sit with me. Come here. Here, sit right here. I want you to sit right here. Wait, that's my coat. It's actually, that's a knife. What are you going to do with that? Thanks, Dad. Cool. Sit. Sit there. Right there. Keep me
Good.
company. Okay. Alright. Let's... Okay. Okay. Let's do it. Let us do it. So, the first things first is that this area, this comes down some. This comes down. Significant amount. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. This is normal. This is how we correct. We're going to bring this down some.
So usually your like topmost players are thickest, or do you switch it around towards the end?
I'm sorry, Harry, what was that?
Like towards the end of the like painting, right? So your
Yeah.
final layer is the thickest, or is it thinned
Oh.
down by medium?
I try to make the final layer thickest. I'll try to put paint on, like especially in the lights, I'll try to put something and build it up. In fact, there's this still life, the one that I painted. I haven't released a video for it, but I was painting with a palette knife in several parts of the actual painting itself. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Also, Jintion is here. Jinshin is here. Jeez, my pronunciation is off today. Yeah. He's waiting in general.
Oh, he is? Okay, we'll get him in,
Yeah,
and then we're probably not going to be streaming that much longer, but we'll get him in. It's good having you guys in, by the way. This is nice. I like having people. Now, keep in mind, I can't, I'm trying to shift through people. I can't have like a ton of people in all the time, because otherwise I start not paying attention to the chat, and that's not a good thing. I want to have everybody equally paid attention to and spoken to. Like, I want everybody to be in a conversation, in other words. So, but we'll pull him in. Jinshin, hey buddy. I don't know if can you hear us, Jinshin? Alright, so
Loud and clear.
there we go, buddy. Doing alright?
Yeah.
Good.
How you doing, guys?
Doing freaking fantastic. So with a lighter value, we'll shape this area right here. So, and down.
I thought this was Rose.
Oh, this? No, this isn't Rose.
It looks like her.
I can see that a little bit, yeah. This forehead protrudes a little bit more than we have it. I'm bringing some. Scoop. There. So that's a little bit awkward to see. This, here's the thing, guys. Like, this stuff, we correct. It all gets corrected. It all gets corrected. This comes out some. This part comes out just a little. Out some. This. But I'm going to use this vibrant brush here and really that up just a little. That might have been too much.
The bottom of the nose seems a little off to me.
Oh, it definitely is. Definitely is. Give me a sec. I'll fix this stuff. Don't you worry. Here, you have some faith here, buddy. That's the least of this portrait's problems right now. That is the least of its problems.
I feel it's mostly that. Otherwise, I feel forehead is manageable once the nose is done, because nose has a lot of planes and it's more complicated.
Absolutely
forehead's
right.
Yeah.
You are
So
correct. You are correct.
Maybe tackling that will help you tackle the forehead.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Are correct. Just See, I'm trying to do a combination of what I want it to look like, because she has to be peaceful but also, I mean, I don't want to say desperate, but she's clinging to him, right? She has to have a specific look to her. She has to have a look.
The nostril looks a little too big than it should be, at least to me.
Yeah. Don't worry, man. We'll fix it all in good time.
Mm-hmm.
I have to. There's a way to do this. There's a way. I have a plan.
What kind of brush are you using? Like, I haven't seen that shape before. Is it a cat tongue?
This is a filbert. It's just like into a point right now.
How did you get that?
Because I'm a genius, Gary, and I can do whatever I want with these brushes.
I am the master of.
I haven't seen that before, so yeah.
Yeah. That's why. You know this.
Is it a rosemary?
No, it's not. This is Winsor Newton. You know, to be honest with you guys, that's the thing, is that brushes really don't matter that much, because you can break them in over time as long as they don't shed, right? You can do a lot with them. Like there's some really crappy brushes that are better than the stuff that you pay $50 for.
Yeah, there's the brush that I like to use is I know it sounds like one of those movies, but it's called Ebony Splendor.
Ebony Splendor.
Yeah, it's like there's another company, Bessie or Bets. I don't know. They sell them at Jerry's Artorama.
Oh.
They're both great brushes.
Uh-huh.
And like they're cheap as hell. Like they're next to nothing. So like you know that whole I don't know. Though I've had other people tout that you want to use the best materials possible.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do this, and like I kind of understand it, but at the same time I'm like,
no, you don't.
Like I would agree with canvas totally, because I've used some canvases that just suck the life out of oil paints.
Yeah, the canvas that is different.
Student grade stuff that's like, forget it, you know.
Yeah, I think it's just like the image around oil painting that's causing a lot of issues, right? Like, oh, you need to have a canvas. There's no other alternatives. You need to have a wooden palette. It's just like the typical idea, what causes a lot of people to not try it, or if they do, it's just like the materials that they get is like very expensive. They're not able to perform with them, and then they just say oil painting is like complicated and difficult.
You guys, the chat's ridiculous. Why Lewis doesn't have kids. Laura.
Why Lewis doesn't have kids. You're a dumb dummy. Sorry. I don't perceive you that way, Lewis. I'm just kidding. Why can't you be just like me?
I know. It's all good. It is
I'm gonna hop off. I gotta get back to work. But thank you for letting me be part of the chat.
Yes, anytime, Claire. It was very nice having you. Thank you so much for coming on. This is actually that's going too far. But it's very, very nice having you. Thank you so much for coming. I'm actually gonna push this out some. Something like that.
No, Queldar doesn't have tamarind in it. This particular one had pineapple and lime, but they do make a tamarind flavor. I haven't seen it out here in the East Coast. I'm sure that there maybe is a tamarind one that would be maybe Puerto Rican version. Like there's not a lot of like say Mexican people in Connecticut.
No. There we are.
The stream started streaming 92 minutes ago. I came on late because I was in school.
I'm glad you can make it, man. Yeah.
It was a terrible day.
It was a terrible day. What happened?
I don't know, man. Just my art teacher.
Hmm.
I showed my self-portrait
Yeah.
to her. Actually, I sent you an Instagram.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Yes. No, you checked that, yeah.
Oh, I did already? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So this was a while ago then. Like when was it?
I don't know, probably the last 2 months.
Oh, I see.
I-
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And I showed my self-portrait to her, and she was like, "Be more like expressive, and
Don't.
why don't you be yes, and why don't you paint like big canvases and like loose and all that?" And she was like, "God damn it, right?"
Yeah.
I couldn't no more.
I had that's horrible what I did just now. I had my art teacher in Italy before I went to the school. I'm losing the smile, by the way, by accident, but I'll fix it. I had her tell me kind of the same thing. You need to be expressive. Don't go to the Florence Academy. They'll kill you over there. I'll still keep the video up. Just got to work. Good, Claire. I appreciate that. But yeah, I've had them say the same type of stuff to me before. It's frustrating.
Yeah. And
The
she was
old telltale: if you spend time academically, it'll kill your fragile, very fragile imagination.
Yeah,
And it's like, really, come on.
it does, like, your imagination suffers a little at first when you go through like extensive training, but you get it back once you get out. If like Sir Joshua Reynolds spoke about that. He said it takes a weak mind to lose your artistic sense just after a little bit of. And now she looks like Bubba Gump. I swear. Okay, don't worry, guys. I'll fix this. I'm also, my eyes getting a little bit old. Normally I'd switch to something else and come back to it. What you got to keep in mind with this type of work is that I don't expect to get this at first. Like, it takes me several sessions to get it, especially when I'm kind of making something up. Okay, so I know it looks off. I see it. I understand that. But I'm also trying to go for a feel that I want, and I don't have a reference. I can look at this stuff all day long, but there's a countenance that I'm going for with it. I know what I want to get, and this will take a little bit more
I've heard
time.
this. I'm sorry.
Go on.
Why don't you paint like the things that you want to invent and change? Why don't you paint them on a smaller scale, right? Or do a detailed drawing before you start with the bigger piece.
I mean, I could do that, but I mean, it's just
Because I've heard Andrew Tristler talk about like how he does like a small scale version of his big paintings
yeah,
to figure out the composition, things
Right.
he wants to change.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, does a digital copy of things that if he's changing the colors and the composition too much, he does a
'Cause-
digital copy.
Because this is the
So-
ballpark of what I want right here. Like, this is I've done extensive thinking about it. Like, and this is what I want. It's just there's just minor corrections that I need to do at the scale. That's the answer to your question. So
Yeah, but like, do you do like if you want to make a bigger change in the composition or change character, let's just say in the painting. So
Right.
would you directly go to the final painting, or would you do some studies beforehand?
I would do. It depends on what it is. Like, for example, the hands. The hands, I had to change, but I knew how to change those. Even right now, the hands, they're too young looking. I know how to paint them in old. But
Okay.
if I need to repaint something totally, which I'm not gonna I'm just not gonna, can't go through and do that at this point. But I mean, if I need to repaint something, I'd have to go through resketch. If I didn't know what it was, yeah, sketch. It's strategic, right? If you don't know what you're gonna do studies beforehand. If you know what needs to be done, just do it. Right? It's common sense, practical type. It's kind of
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's my best answer for that one. That's a good question though, Harry. I think.
when I approach a painting, I usually make a sketch and then I a value study, just black and white, and then a color study, and then I do the full painting. I do like several studies before the painting.
Yeah.
That's what
I
you're
would
supposed to
I go down. Yeah, I actually do a value study on the painting itself, and then fix it using a fixative, right? So I can
Yes.
inform my edges and the how the value structure of the overall painting is going to be, rather than doing it on a different piece. But yeah, I do. Basically, it's a study. I make changes accordingly, and then I just need to deal with color and saturation of the color. Value is pretty much down there.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. That is how it's supposed to be done. You guys got it. So here's another thing to keep in mind. We're making it look. What we're doing here at this stage, we're fixing the drawing. Not really paying so much attention to the light values yet. Not yet. Or the colors. We're trying to get the drawing. We're trying to get big shapes correct, right? When we start putting the light values and all this stuff, it's going to give it that three-dimensional pop. And so it is working on the form. That is the drawing. And it is going to change how it looks, right? It's going to have a different feel to it. And so that's something also to keep in mind. Like everything you do in this. Let's see if I can do... Alright. I'm about to end the stream. I do have to go in a second. Let's see what Clara says. Yes, my creativity plummeted once I tried to improve my art, but once I got more confident and comfortable with certain things, it did come back and I felt I could execute better. That is true. And you have to put like effort into that. You have to make a conscious decision. For me, at least, that's how it works. Thumbnails, yes, those are crucial for watercolor. I don't think as necessary for oil painting. They are, though, since you can rework the piece, but I'm not oil painting expert. You know, they're crucial, but you're right, you can rework oil paint. It just saves you a hassle, and it will make a better painting in the end if you have, like, a plan. I guess it's, and then Claudar, I guess it's good practice with smaller versions, no matter what the medium. I think you're right. For once.
Plus, you get to play around with the color.
Say what?
Like colors, you can play with the colors, right?
Yeah.
So you can set the mode. Yeah, you can inform.
Yeah, it's better to play with them on like a smaller scale than a larger scale, right? I mean.
Yeah, and oils are inherently transparent. So the reason I think studies are important and good is because, like, over time, the errors that are there underneath the layers, they will start to show through. Unless you're painting them, the final layer is like extremely thick and it's impasto, so it won't show through as much.
Claire says,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Claire says, when I do a study of that study, and then write a paper about that study on why I did the study, and then I do a painting of that paper of the study. I'm clearly still getting distracted. Claire has the right idea. Never get to your work. Always just do studies.
Yeah,
it
is an interesting fact about the painter Caravaggio, how he never used to draw or sketch before a painting, and then he will go straight on and like go with like lines, like curved lines, not even straight, not even a construction, and he would like make the figures on the canvas and then put the colors.
Wow.
The amount of geniuses.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
From now on, call me Caravaggio. I'm gonna go Muslim now.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody posted a link of a video from our painted lives and like dark side of Caravaggio. I've seen that video. It's really good. Yeah, tells you a lot.
They're finding out a little more about him, and apparently he wasn't such a crazed lunatic.
Yes.
But I want to attribute some of it to probably the chemicals in the paint.
Blood Dad? I think I finished the mouth, by the way, guys.
Some people say he was a very violent man. Like, he killed a man just because he killed actually a waiter just because he brought him artichokes instead of cooked in oil, the waiter cooked the artichokes in butter, so it killed him.
Did he really? Oh, I heard he
Yes.
killed a man, but is that true?
Yes, I think it's true.
Apparently, he
Amen.
killed someone, but
Oh, Christ, it's dead. What are you doing? That's my stuff. Don't touch that stuff. Caught up in reference hell, just spending hours googling references. Yes. Posted that video. LOL. Nice. Nice. So what I did, I essentially moved this out because honestly, my eye's a little bit tired right now. I'm probably gonna be stopping in a second, but this, yeah, we'll get this. I'm not honestly, I'm not worried about that. I just like I needed to move this mouth. Like literally was in too far, and this part was out too far that way. So I think I want to have this out, that out, and then this kind of comes out a little bit, goes in, and so that's what I'm doing. But guys, I am going to end it right now because somebody's getting a little bit antsy over here. But thank you so much for thank you so much for being patient, and yeah, guys, thanks for coming on. And like I said, I like having people in. I can't always have so many people in chat at the same time, but I want everybody to. I like talking with everybody, and I think it'll be easier when I, don't have, him here. But thanks, Dad. All right, cool. So here, I'm gonna put this here. I'm going to end this stream, and it is Tuesday, so I will see you guys on Thursday, hopefully. So, guys, thank you so much, and y'all have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you Thursday, 11:30 a.m. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Lewis.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Lewis.
Bye.